project is we're going to create all of the technical drawings, the drawing files for this project. Okay. So what the drawing files allow us to do is to present the part in multi-views, and then we can also dimension it and provide information to whoever's manufacturing it. So started with a new file. You're looking for a drawing. This is the last part. Okay, this is the standard.idw, and we'll hit create. And by default, usually it comes up with a C-sized piece of paper. We're going to switch those. Okay, and to switch the size of the sheet, if you come over here to the left side where the browser is and right-click on it, you can hit Edit Sheet, and you can change the size of it. So this one we're going to change it to size A. You can even change the orientation of it to portrait. So that's what I would recommend you do. Change it to a size A, also change it to a portrait. Okay, and then hit OK. And your page should look like this now. Alright. The first page we want is the title page. You're going to have 12 total pages or 12 total sheets to fill up here on the right side. Okay. The first one is a title page, so you're just going to need to put your name and then some pictures of the train car. So to do that, if I go to base, and so for this first one I might want to put my assembly in. Okay, so I need to pick out which file I want, and so that would be over here, that folder. In this case I want my train assembly. I'll hit open. I need to resolve something. Okay, so there is my train car. Right now I'm looking at it the front way, but I have the option to change the views of it. This one, maybe the ISO is going to look really good here. Alright, now notice it's way too big. The size is way too big, so I need to change the scale of it. I'm going to change the scale of this one to a half. So what I'll do is I'll take that piece and make it about half size. So what I'll do here is I'll just place this view right here, and then I can come over here and put a bunch of different angles in it if I wanted to. But I'm just going to do like 3 different views. Now notice that when it comes in here, that the part itself, hold on. The part itself, you have the option to move the views. So if you select a view, you can move it. But right now, when they come in, they're these like kind of blank looking. If you double-click a view and you want to make it look visualized, you can change the style of it down here. And so right now it comes in just regular. But if you want shaded, this is if you click on the shaded one, it'll make it appear more realistic here for this piece. So I'll double-click that one as well, change it to shaded. I'll hit OK. All right. So you can do it that way, and then you can go ahead and throw some typing text in here for title page. To do that, you go under Annotate, and you'll see text right here. And we'll click and make a window, and I can say that train car by Mr. Zurich, and I'll add a date in there, 29 and then 2017. We'll hit OK. Alright, so there's my text. It's a little bit small. To change that, let me get out of the text tool, hit escape. You double click on it, you can highlight it, and then change the size of it. So that's a little better. Train car by Mrs. Zurich, there's my date, couple train cars. Alright, the second page is going to be more of your assembly. So in this case, I'm going to have to start a new sheet. So if I go back to my original tab, the Place Views tab, you see here it says New Sheet. If I click on that, New Sheet, it will create a copy of whatever sheet you're starting with. So as long as you change the first sheet, every time you hit New Sheet, it will update. Okay. Now, as you're making these, if you want to clean them up, like change the name of them so you can see which one's which, If you right click any of the sheets, you see where it says edit sheet. There's where you can type in the name for it. So like this one, maybe I want to call it my title. Alright, this next one, right click, I can edit it if I wanted to. I could change this, or I could call this one my assembly. Okay. So now with my assembly, I'm going to grab the base, and you go find my assembly piece. So that's the train here. And for this one, what I want to do is to kind of do a nice multi-view of it. So I could start out here with the side view. I can click on that, I can drag it over, and there's a nice front view of it. There's a isometric view of it, and I could even do the top view of it right there. Right click, hit create, and it'll put that assembly in that setup for me. My isometric I want to change to a more detailed view, so if I double click my isometric sketch, I can come here and change it to shaded, and it'll look better. The rest of them I do want to keep like that. If you double click it, right now it's showing up as hidden line removed. If you click hidden line and allow it, you're going to see all these other hidden lines in it. For right now that's okay. It's not too bad to see what's going on there. So you can either leave the hidden lines on or off, that's up to you. But this is all we're kind of looking for in terms of the assembly. Alright, the next page, starting your sheet, you're going to bring your explosion in. So if I go to my base, let's see here, I need to find my explosion, so open it up. I called this my train explode, there it is. Hit open. So right now there's my front view of it. I could go with current, let's see, or an ISO. ISOs are usually good for this one. Alright, look at that, ISO right looks perfect for this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this in. The scale 1 to 2 is pretty good. So again, I don't need to change that. But I'm going to place this right there in the middle. Right click OK. Okay, so when you bring the explosion in, you're going to want to make sure it's kind of lower in the drawings. Kind of like low right here in the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring a table of contents in. Well, actually it's called a bill of materials. And that's going to tell us all the parts that are in this. And so what we also need to do are put some balloons in here. And so if you go to annotate, where you go to dimension, over here at the right side you'll see this thing says balloon. Okay, if you click on it, as you start selecting objects, you get to place a number with it. And so when you click on a part, it'll ask you to go, what's the source, the bill of material property. So it's saying, hey, which file, which assembly am I looking for? And we want the train, so I'll hit OK. And go ahead and hit OK as well. And as you'll see here, as I start to select parts, I can start placing these balloons in. So I want to make sure I select one of each part. So click on a wheel, click again to drop the balloon, and hit continue. And you can do this with almost everything. Okay, so again, make sure that all of them are selected. Now you don't want any of your balloons to cross. So for example, I wouldn't want to do this. Okay, not only is it crossing the balloon over here, but it's also crossing the object. You don't want to do that. So to get rid of it, if you get out of the tool and then just right click it and hit delete, go back to balloons and we'll come back here. There's the cow catcher. Let's see here, there's a wheel, we already got the wheel. I need the hitch peg. I need the hitch. I need the axle. Let's see here, do I have everything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All 9 parts are there. Awesome. Alright, so once you have a numbered part for each one, then you'll see right here next to where it says balloon, there's right here it says parts list. If you click on that, it's asking you what's our source, and so just come here and select the train. Go ahead and then hit OK. and then it's going to give you like this little box, and so you should be able to snap it. Whether you want to snap it to the top right or top left doesn't matter, but I would snap it up to the top and right click, hit escape. So you may find that some balloons are in your parts list. You should be able to move them, but something's going on with my mouse right now, so I'm just going to right click it and delete the balloon and just put a new one in. I'll grab the stack, and you know what, maybe I'll put it over here to kind of balance out the heavily dominated right side there. Alright, so once you have the explosion view with all the parts there, you know what, I might come over here and change the name of that. Let's edit the sheet name. We're going to call this the explosion. Alright, and then go ahead and hit a new sketch, a new sheet. And so the next, 9 sheets? The next 9 sheets, each part is going to have its own sheet. So the first one, if you want to start with a train car, that's fine, but you need all 9. And so come here and pick which part you want. So let's say I start with the train body. Now the size of some of these are pretty big. So for example, like this one's way too big to be at a 1:1 scale. So I would need to scale this one down. Let's just go half. That's not bad. Alright, so once I have that part, you're going to want to try to determine what the best front view is. So you'll see that I kind of just went through my orientations. I found left was the best view, so I'm going to go with that one being my front view. Click on it, drag up for my top view, drag to the side for my side view, and also include an isometric view. Okay, your isometric view, if you double click it, make it shaded. Alright, and then these other ones, these other views, I want you to dimension it. And so when you come into dimension, you might want to zoom in. But to dimension, go to annotate. And what you can do is look at the dimensions that were provided in the activity and use those as an example as you start dimensioning this. So if I come here to dimension, you know, we might need to know the entire big line here. So if I go from this line to that line, you know, that's 5.5. Okay, I'll hit OK. Some of these holes, like these holes were specific. If you hit this hole in thread notes, if you click on that and click on a hole, it will bring out the hole notes for you. So you're going to have to try to find the best spot for it. Sometimes not the easiest. But looking at this, I want it to be in my drawing, but I also want it to be on the side here. I'm going to cross an extension line as much as I don't want to do that. That's probably the best place because I don't really want to put it up through this piece right here. Alright, so you have the ability to put in thread notes if you click on the hole and just, you know, for example, like this top one here, this was a hole that we drilled. There you go, there's notes for it. Same thing with these ones up here. Alright, and so again, dimension as much as you can, the best that you can. And then with each page, you're going to have new sheets. So there should be a new sheet for each part. Some of these are pretty difficult to dimension everything. Some of them are a little bit easier. Later on, we'll show you, once we get into some of the other things here, I'll show you how to make some specialized dimensions and stuff like that later on. But really just looking for general dimensions here. What you see in the packets is what you should try to dimension. So, you know, try your best with this. Okay. A couple last things with these circles. You know, you can put in a center line if you need a dimension to the center lines here. If you click on that, you can then place center marks into these circles, which is helpful when you start dimensioning to those. All right. Anytime you have a circle, you should grab that center mark and throw a center line in there. Okay. And that's about it. So good luck. Let me throw a center line there as well. And you want to throw a center there because you're going to have to dimension that, right? And yeah, I think that's about it for right now. Good luck, and may the force be with you.